Hello, friends. Welcome back to Rick Off Scripts. Joining me today is yours truly, the man, the myth, the legend, Quinsanity,
Here,
Quincy James.
what's going on?
This is the first episode of the Off Script series where I bring in guests to chat about life, what our friendship slash relationship is at, where it started, where it is at now, and where it is going. Each guest will be answering the same 10 set of questions, so you'll get a different answer based on whoever is here, and we'll go from there. Anything you'd like to say before we start?
Let's get straight to it, man. Let's get straight to it.
Okay. The first question that I have is, tell me about the first time that we met and what that was like from your perspective.
The first time that we met, first time we met was 2023 June, right before camp started. It was a play day, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah.
My first impression of you, I don't even know if I really had a first impression. My first impression of everybody, for those of you who don't know, I've worked camps with these guys for a minute. But everyone knows, especially at the beginning, I just don't like talking to people, bro. I go to work to strictly work and go home to go home. That's all I'm there for. So I'm going to work, going home. Not really there to make friends. But I would say Rick and then one of our other coworkers, she was those two. Her name is Naomi. Shout out to you if you're ever watching this. But those were like the two first people that I would consider like coworker friends kind of thing that I would be able to talk to some sort of extent. But he was chill. I think we ran one of the stations together. It was like something like scavenger, not a scavenger hunt.
Like
What do you call it? Obstacle
course.
course. Yeah, obstacle course or whatever. And that was pretty it. That was pretty much it. And that was like the first time that I ever met him. So it was pretty chill. Nothing extreme, but I'm like, oh, he's a chill dude. That's it. That's it. I was like, oh, cool.
It was very interesting because the first time I met you, you introduced yourself as James.
That's how no, see, that's not even why Phil introduced me as James. That's why, because on my badge, long story, but shout out to the organization we work for. Um yeah, they just got my name backwards the whole time, bro, for a long time. So everybody that they would see me on our platform or whatever, it just has my last name as my first name, my first name as my last name. I feel like I had to correct too many people. So at some point I just gave up. I just accepted that James was the name.
Yeah, I remember that whole play day. I was calling you James,
Yeah.
and we worked the summer together, and you were like, "Hey, I'm Quincy," and I was like,
Yeah. So
"Okay." The second question is, and there's been a lot of these.
mm,
What would you say is your favorite memory of ours, or that one that we've shared?
wow. I mean, we've had a lot of memories and things that we've done together.
Oh,
Um, when that comes to mind, I won't even get into too much details, but one of the times we went bowling, we went bowling with three of our other friends, and let's just say the night was just one hell of a night. You know what I'm saying? Bowling was good, and the car ride home was just quite the car ride home.
eventful.
It was this. That's the word. Eventful.
It was an eventful car ride.
And that was quite the story to tell. But if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? I can't say too much. Don't want to expose my friends, but you know who you are, and you were there, and I'll never forget that. So
What a night!
what a night.
That's one that we talk
That's
about.
up there. That's
Yeah.
that got to be top three for sure. That's off the top of my head, though. I'd have to pick that night. That was a night, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
What would you say is something that I've done for you that you don't think I realized meant a lot to you?
I mean, I guess it goes back to just like starting camps, bro. Like just one of the first people that was just able to talk to about anything. Um, Even with that, like through you, I met a lot of the people that I'm like currently friends with today.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like end of summers one time, like you sent me an invite to come to one of the events, and it was from you that I even ended up coming to that thing because I probably wouldn't have gone otherwise. And I met a lot of people that I'm currently close to. So like through you again, I built a lot of relationships, and like you're kind of my first connection in the workplace and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's allowed for a bunch of the relationships to develop, like obviously in the midst of our relationship developing as well.
Yeah.
But like brought a lot of friends along the way as well. So I don't know if I've ever verbally said that to him, but now you know.
No, likewise. I think a lot of the people that I talk to is probably because I think you and I host a lot of things.
Yeah.
So we get to build those connections to maintain those friendships.
No, 100%.
How would you describe me to someone who's never met me before?
Wow. Oh, how would I
Why'd you
describe
laugh?
it? Cause I try to think. I'm like, cause I talk to my girlfriend a lot,
Yeah.
and like she doesn't know any of you. Like she met you guys maybe once now,
Yeah.
but like beforehand, she just wouldn't know you guys. So I was just immediately thinking, I'm like, how would I explain to my girlfriend the story? Like,
Yeah.
So that's why I laughed. I was like, I would say you're very kind-hearted, very passionate about whatever it may be. Um, and you put your heart in like whatever it may be. So like no matter what it is, whether it's work or whether it's people, whether it's a woman, respectfully, like you know what I'm saying, whoever you're talking to, like you're gonna give your whole self, your whole person, right? I think it's a good thing. But you just know that it comes with a lot, not even in a bad way, but like obviously a lot of emotion, a lot of different things like that. But that's part of who you are, and I think that's a good quality to have. Like you know, you're always giving 100%. You're always being 100% yourself. I can't say there's ever been a time where I was like Rick's not being himself. Like I don't think you necessarily like play a character. Like you're just you. And I think that's a good thing. But I'll definitely say you're always giving 100% of yourself. So like whatever you get, it's all of it. You know what I'm saying? It's not in a battle. But that's what I would say. Like just yeah.
What would you say is something that you want more of in your life?
That I want more of?
No.
Peace, bro. I'm tired of these people, man. Yo, it's actually life is just crazy.
Getting to that age, man.
Yeah, just peace.
Peace.
Going home and just chilling, and that's like the one thing that I want. Um, in my life, what else? But for real, like other than that, um, what would I want more of in my life, bro? Honestly, I don't think I could ask for much. Honestly, I think I'm good and I'm grateful with what I have and where I'm at. So nothing in, like immediately comes to mind. Um, I think I guess it's not really the question, but I'm kind of rewording it a bit. But something I want more for myself, not even in like a physical sense, but something I want to like or expect more of myself. Um, is being completely like authentic. That's just one thing I've tried to do. More so, not to say that I haven't been authentic before, but like it's authenticity based on the removal of something. So not showing my full hand. And I think that's something I can even learn from you. Um, just being open and honest about like whatever it is in my life and being like, yo, so I was even talking to my girlfriend about this the other day. It's not even necessarily that I'm never doing good, but like sometimes life is just crazy, you know, and just being honest about where life's at. I feel like even in the midst of the storm, you can kind of find peace in that, and that's something that I've kind of been learning to do more as I've grown and I get older. And you know, like, as you said, we're getting to that age, so I have a lot more time to reflect. But just being more accepting of whatever the situation is and learning to find peace in that. That's where I'm at in life. So that's kind of what I want more for myself, at least. So there's not necessarily something that I want more physically or to obtain, but just being more authentic is kind of something that I want. Yeah.
It's very insightful. Was, to the best of your knowledge, was there a turning point in our relationship, friendship, whatever you want to call it, for better or for worse?
There's been a few, fam. There's been a few, bro. One, okay, I'm not gonna get into all the details, but if you know, you know, there's woo 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 2023.
What a year.
What a year, you know what I'm saying?
A year.
Whole bunch of stuff that kind of happened. Obviously, in the midst of that, there was a bit of miscommunication in terms of where me and Rick were at, and in terms of what was being pursued and so on and so forth. And that one confused me because at the time I was actually full on focused on a whole nother individual. Still am. Shout out to you. Love you. If you're ever watching this video, I'll probably repost so you'll see that. Hi, girlfriend. Um, but yeah, so that was one time I was just like, bro, mind you, like me and Rick were close, but like again, I'm just getting to know Rick. So it's kind of one of my like first like real interactions. So I was like, yo, what the frick is going on with this guy, bro? It's like can't remember. I was just like, yo, what is this man on? And that was just it was just funny to me, not even in a bad way, but I was just like, nah, like I don't want that, bro. Not even in a bad way. So that was when I was just like, whatever. But then another turning point in that a couple months down the line, it might have been or whatever. I remember one time we were riding home. I don't know where we were riding home from. But I was with you in the car, and then you brought it up unprovoked. I wasn't even going to talk about it. It was one of those things that I honestly moved past. It wasn't even that deep. But he brought it back up, and he just mentioned it. He's like, yo, like I remember this so and so, whatever, like told me about it, and like yo, I just wanted to apologize for whatever. Woo, woo, woo. And I was just like, yo, that was real. Like he didn't have to do that. And I respected like him coming to me and saying that. I honestly like forgot about it at that point. But I thought that was just like the man thing to do in that situation. So I thought that was a really big one. One that was actually another turning point was it was at my house. I don't know if you remember. It was the first time we were playing, or not even maybe not the first time, but one of the first time we were playing. Not we're not really strangers. I don't know how many of us were there that night, but I still have it on me till this day. Hold on, I have my phone because I've always kept it on me since that day. So it probably was 2023, but this has his and like whoever else was there that night. I think it was 4 of us. But we kind of just played that game. It was a good night in terms of conversation and getting to know each other. But that was the turning point in terms of just like relationship. Yeah, you'll have to figure out which one's yours.
I don't know.
I don't remember. I mean, I'll just obviously remember if I read it, but that's something that I've kind of kept on me because that was like a turning point, honestly, in terms of my relationship with all the people who were there that night. We kind of like really got to know each other on a deeper level. Shout out to the game. That's free promo to you guys if you've never played it. It's a good opportunity to get to know people you might know on like a more acquaintance level to get them to kind of get to that friendship point. And that was another night that was just like, yo, like okay, like he's more than just like a coworker in that sense, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just real and like authentic. It's not often that you find kind of people like that. I was just like, okay, like you can be like emotionally like competent. I'm not emotionally vulnerable in that sense. Like that's another thing with just men in general. There's a whole nother conversation I'm not gonna get into.
We'll save that for another episode.
But I think that's an important thing to do to be able to be like emotionally intelligent, like in whatever conversation you have with people. Obviously being aware of your own emotions, but like also being aware of how other people are affected by yourself, by other people, by situations, so on and so forth.
The next question I have for you, and part of this I feel like you might have already touched upon while answering the last one. But to be more specific, when did you feel like you could really trust me as a friend? Like, was there a specific moment, a specific outing, interaction, conversation where you thought, yeah, this is someone that I could talk to about whatever, I could trust with whatever?
I can't say again. Maybe it's kind of related. I won't say it's a specific moment. It's more like multiple moments kind of combined. And as you like learn somebody and as you slowly build trust, like kind of through interaction, it kind of goes back to that emotional vulnerability piece, emotional intelligence piece. Like part of like being able to be vulnerable with somebody is when somebody's also vulnerable. And the fact that you're able to do that like makes it a lot easier. Because yeah, it's like give and take and kind of in that sense. Like if somebody's being open or giving something to you that is vulnerable, it also gives you like kind of a sense of trust in that to also give like pieces of you that might be vulnerable or that need to be handled with care and so on and so forth. So yeah, I think it's not necessarily a moment, but like again, a plethora of like interactions that I've kind of already talked about. But yeah, that's kind of what I would say. So like whether it's simple outings, just riding in the car, kind of talking, or having conversations at a dinner or at an event that he's running an event, I'm running an event that a friend's running, like whatever it may be, like building up of those interactions, just getting to know you, like who you are. Kind of built that trust and like ability to be like just talk about anything and just know like it's gonna kind of be kept in like the space, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
That's hopefully the idea behind this series is to, let those who we share our friendship with, relationship with,
Mm.
and those who, might be seeing my page for the first time to like get an understanding of who I am. And
Yeah,
of course get an understanding of who the people that I invite into this space with me, get to know who they are as well.
I know.
Who the heck is Quinny on YouTube?
Shout out, go
Free plug.
subscribe.
Figure out who the heck Quinny is.
Hey man, drop the video a couple months ago, but I'm gonna catch up. Promise you, I'll get 12. I'll get 12 by the end of the year.
The next question that I have for you is, what do you think keeps our friendship strong now?
Perfect. Yeah, I won't even lie to you, bro. Let's just let them know right now. This clip, bro, it got chopped. Okay, so I'm just going over the answer again. So I'm not even gonna fake like it. I didn't already answer this question, but this is really the authentic answer.
I was hoping that we could fake it because, like,
Yeah,
I was gonna tap into my acting
I
skills
was
a
ready
little
to do it,
bit.
but I'm like, I can't do it, bro.
That's
Because
fine.
So, but yeah, I think something that's important in terms of just like our relationship and what keeps it consistent is just being available and just creating the time, being intentional about creating time. Especially as you get older, 23, 24, 25, we're getting up there soon, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like you got to kind of be intentional about the time that you have. We're not in school anymore. We're not in those places where those interactions are naturally created for us. So like in high school, you're always in the same class as somebody. In university, there's always events on campus or whatever it may be. It makes it easy to invite a friend or hang out with a friend on campus. Once you pass that stage, there's kind of nothing there unless you're being intentional about it. And I think something that makes it easy for us is the fact that you run stuff, I run stuff, and then obviously like our friends and different things like that. But we're always being intentional about those interactions, and then also being intentional about extending out those invites as well. So when I have something, and I'm like, yo, I'm always gonna shoot Rick a message, and I can usually expect the same thing from him. Be like, yo, if he's running something, I'll probably get a message from him, and it kind of allows us to kind of navigate that situation. It makes it easy and it allows the friendship to kind of flow. So that was the answer, being intentional.
The next question that I have for you is, if we had to be stuck on an island, which of our three friends would be the most useful to be stuck with?
Yes,
Now,
mind you.
just because Quincy's going to say three names now, this footage got cut, so it might not have been said before.
All right, listen. I want you to know when I answer this question, this is for my friends who are the most useful for me to survive.
Underlining the word useful.
I'm worried about my life, So I really thought about it. You don't hear my logic, so don't be upset. I still love you. Just hear my logic. So, and I'm gonna do it in the same order that I did it. So I'll be really authentic. So the first person that came to mind was Diego. Shout out to Diego. I was just like, you know what? Who's somebody who's competent? Who's somebody who'll get the job done? Who's somebody who's like, I think would want to equally survive as much as the rest of us. He's not gonna cause me too much trauma. He's not gonna do nothing dumb. He's not gonna, walk into the forest. Unlike some people who might want to go exploring. I won't say no names, but if you thought about it yourself and you're like, damn, he's talking about me, maybe that's something about yourself you need to
If the shoe fits.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. So then I was like, yo, Diego, first man, he played basketball, he's just athletic, cool, chilling. Second man that came to mind, my greatest pull, Nathan J. Shout out Nathan J. The reason I thought of Nathan J. He's just a smart guy, bro. I feel like he just knows facts about something. I feel like this man just knows something about the island or the forest, just facts about how to survive, or like how to make a fire, something like that, bro. Like he would know how to find like flint and stone in the forest, just cause, like, that's just I'm assuming we don't have materials, we're just there.
Yeah.
So I feel like he'd be able to figure that out. And he's just hella entertaining. Nathan, I love that guy. So shout out to you. And the last person that came to mind was PJ. And respectfully, that was disrespectful that you were the last person to come to mind. But yeah, in terms of 1, entertainment, 2, athletic, 3, doctor. Like those are the 3 like very important things that I need for this island. In order to survive. And that was the list. And then obviously Rick and myself. I think that's a solid team. No disagreement. Love women though. I love women. Just the particular friend group that I got. All right, I ain't gonna say too much about that. Yeah.
Okay, last but not least, just something to leave the people off with to learn a little bit more about yourself. You could list multiple things if you would like, but what is something that you yourself, Quincy James, are passionate about?
Yeah, I almost forgot what I answered for this question. But yeah, I said I was passionate about a lot of things, and I still am. One of them, I said I'm passionate about creating. I love to create, in any aspect, whether it's creating experience or whether it's creating art. I think art is a beautiful thing. It allows you to express yourself in so many different ways. And there's so many different art forms. That's what I love about art. I love that's what I'm saying. Anytime I have an opportunity to see art, I go. So whether it's dance, acting, singing, rapping, film, like there's just so many aspects or like drawing, like physical art, like going to like an art show. There's so many avenues to like express oneself. And I feel like emotion can be expressed, or art allows emotion to be expressed where words sometimes can't. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's what I love about art. So I love making music again for nobody but myself. Same thing with with videos. I make videos for nobody but myself. Um, I just love like creating memories and just different things like that, having those moments. Um, Again, kind of going back to that events and things as well. Like I look through my parents' stuff all the time. I see all the photos of us when we're not younger or them at like barbecues. Like I want to recreate that for like the following generation and doing it in a way that kind of encapsulates us. So I like doing videos. You gotta see me with the camera or the Polaroids. I keep those stacked so that one day, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, you guys come through to the house, whatever it may be, and they're like, yo, remember these photos we took? Like, I love having like actual memorabilia as well. I think that's the actual physical art. And that's another thing I'm just passionate about, physical art. I didn't talk about this last time, but physical art is so beautiful. I collect vinyls, like vinyl records. Like again, digital music's dope, but like having physical art and being able to hold it, so dope. So like same thing with photos, actual art. My parents collect art throughout the house. If you've been to my house, you've seen the various different art and stuff that's there. Um, what else did I talk about last time? Passion about God. Again, I said I'm here because of God and God only. And that's something that I will always say and always keep at the forefront. Um, Oh, and another thing that I talked about that I'm also passionate about, and if you know me, you know that I don't like small talk. Like I can only do so much of how is school going, like how it's like, oh, how are you? I'm good, so on and so forth. How's school? Like that's the one that people always go to. Like you always talk about school, you always ask how they're doing. You might like make a 1-2 joke or like what do you want to do when you're once you're done school. But like after that, it's just like okay,
When
like
you
we gotta get
grow
some.
up.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying when you grow, that's what you. That's but like
Yeah.
you gotta get past that at some point. I'm very much getting to like like I want to know again. We said it before, but wanting to know who you are as a person, like what makes you like you,
I
and
need
like
to
why are you the
know
reason you are the way you are. So
the
that's something that
person behind the person.
exactly. So I'll like I promise I may not ask this question directly, but I promise you I will ask you what your trauma is, some way, shape, or form. Like what has caused you to be the reason you are the way today. And I've many people, if you've talked to me at any event, I promise you I got to that point. If you've given me the time of day, I've gotten there. I ask you about it. But I think it's important. Not only because it's important for people to talk and have conversation, um, but I just it just gets to actually like know somebody rather than just it's just the same boring thing. So I think that's why people don't share or people don't make relationship with people because people don't really like to talk. And I think that's something that makes our relationship work as well.
Mhm.
Just being willing to talk about like actual life and not just like the same old stuff every single time.
I think it's very important that we are able to provide the space for people to be able to do that
Yeah, absolutely.
because it's very rare to see these days.
Yeah. So, but that's what I'll say. I won't take up too much time this time, but that's it.
Okay, well, again, I'm gonna do this outro one more time as if it didn't happen before. That is all that I had planned.
Yeah.
Who the heck is Quinny on YouTube?
Subscribe.
Subscribe to the boy.
Subscribe to
Not on social medias yet, but when he's
Nope.
back, follow
Yes.
there as well.
Yes.
I appreciate you coming
Of
through.
course. Follow Rick on script, Instagram. I'm assuming the YouTube is the same.
It's
Or
not
off script. No, it's not.
on
What's it?
Instagram. Yeah,
Instagram. What's it on YouTube?
the YouTube is just my first and last name, Rick Johan.
Oh, there you go.
But-
So make sure you follow that as well. I'm sure it's in his description. Make sure you follow the Instagram for real. If you don't follow, you're fake. That's what I said last time. I'm gonna say it again because it's still true.
Still true.
Make sure you follow.
I will see the rest of you again whenever I'm back with my next guest.